think this will lay the foundations for the rivalry between these two guys. And
we know Serbia got witchcraft and black magic, so we know what's going on.
I'd love to visit though. I saw somebody say Paul George is the Tobias Harris with a shoe deal. By the way, I don't even know if the shoe deal is still going because I searched for PG6s and I couldn't find them online. So I don't even know. So, welcome back to another episode of The Ridgeway. I'm your host, Udoy, with my co-host, Ush. And welcome back, everybody. Today, we'll be talking about the end of the first round, going into the second round, our thoughts on what we think is going to happen, getting into more competitive series, hopefully. And appreciate all the support. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get it started. The first series we're going to be talking about today is the Boston Celtics that beat the Miami Heat in 5 games, pretty dominantly. And they're going to be versing the winner of Orlando and Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a game 7, I think, tomorrow, which, it's looking very interesting. That series, nobody called that, I feel like. And what do you think? What do you think of this series that's coming up? You want to start with the Cleveland Orlando series, or you want to go with Boston first?
Let's talk about Boston first. We can just talk about how I kind of said that they were gonna that one game that they lost didn't really matter. I thought that Miami Heat team was too hurt and just not good enough for them to beat them. And I honestly think that's what's gonna happen in the next series. Like Orlando and Cleveland are having a fun series right now. They're battling it out, but I don't think any of these teams, whoever wins it, has a chance to face Boston. Really, I think Boston's just head and shoulders above both of them. So I don't think there's really too much to talk about. But if we want to go into the Cleveland Orlando series just real quick, I do want to give my hats off to Paolo, dude. He is just every game he just continuously gets better, and their wings are just eating the Cavs alive, which I don't think will be a problem for the Celtics because Celtics got an infinite amount of wings to guard them. Yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. Shout out Donovan Mitchell. I know your knees hurt, but it could be the end here.
For me, the Boston Celtics series, I know I was talking about the boogeyman and all, but he never showed up. I think Jimmy was too hurt to play. And I honestly think that was the only reason. If they were going to do anything, that's the only reason. Jimmy Butler. Boston showing their dominance. I think Tatum is the greatest superstar role player right now, numbers wise. I saw a graphic where it was like Paolo Banchero's numbers and Jason Tatum's numbers. But hey, man, that's the team. That's credit to Brad Stevens, the executive of the year. It was a Jarek White series, and Porzingis got hurt. It doesn't matter. But maybe not. Like down the road, they're gonna need Porzingis for sure. But hopefully he's okay. But I even think the upcoming series is gonna be pretty sound for them. It should be sound for them. I don't see any weakness here. The inexperience of the Magic, which is funny because we said that last round and now they're in a game 7. Shout out to them. And Cleveland, Mitchell's hobbled, so I don't know how much he can do. Just a quick shout out to that series. Yesterday, Darvin Mitchell, I think, had all 18 or 19 points in the fourth quarter for Cleveland Cavaliers. There's your recipe for how Boston's gonna win. If that's the case, if Garland's going to turn the ball over, no one else is going to step up. Hey, man, you just got to chalk it up to another an exit.
Can I just say something real quick? I will say this about Cleveland. I've been watching them all year, and this has been my problem with them all year. Is I don't know what happened to Darius Garland. Honestly, he was a 40% three-point shooter for his first 2 years in the league. He was very aggressive at getting to the basket. He could get 20 points. At the end of the game 6, we just saw yesterday when we watched, there was a play where Darius Garland gets a free wide open 3. Franz is playing drop coverage, so he's closing in on him, and he hesitates. He doesn't take the 3. And Donovan Mitchell's in the corner, he's pissed off. He's literally showing that he's like, dude, take the shot. Yeah. And I feel like that's been the problem with this team, where it's these guys won't Darius Garland for sure. He's scared to shoot. It seems he has some sort of jitters going on. And then we got Mobley. Mobley, man, there's a limit to how good he can be. I think he's really good, extremely good. But on the defensive end, he's spectacular. But his offense, man, it's so limited. If you want to compare him to anybody, compare him to Chet. Look at the way Chet moves with the ball. Look at the way the Chet is shot making, the quality that he has. Like Mobley just doesn't have that, and I don't know
Yeah.
if that's gonna work if they ever want to win anything. I love Mobley. I think he could be a defensive player of the year in the future, but if you're going down the Gobert lane, the Donovan to Gobert lane didn't work first. We saw
Here
it,
we go
and
again.
it's not gonna work again.
Yeah.
The funniest part about this series, I will say, the Orlando and Cavs series, is the fact that like making a three looks like it's like the hardest thing ever. Like whoever hits a three, it's like a touchdown for them.
Yeah. No, that's just so true. It's
And
like
Boston's gonna shoot 43s a game. So
that. Yeah, and like see, like shout out to Paulo. Like he's playing like good for his first playoff run and everything like that. He's like dominating at home. They're getting the job done at home. That's the thing. Like
100%.
like that's actually good signs. And I saw a tweet where it's like like flashes of young Melo or young LeBron. And like I don't know if I'm going that far, but if you squint, maybe it's like a dominant little bull like Melo was, like in Denver. And that's a good sign. He's just gonna keep getting better. He's a wing. Like when you're already like 6 foot, what 9, 6, 6'10"
I think he's
wing,
6'9",
you can
like
handle the ball, and
Yeah.
like you have the structure to play good defense and everything like that. Like the sky's the limit. He just needs his co-stars to come with him, like Franz Wagner, just get more consistent, get a shot. Like some days like they just catch fire, but that's not their bread and butter. So
I think
that's the
last
thing.
point for me, I think this team would be perfect with like a scoring point guard, like a Trae Young, or
Right. Because they have so
anything
many
like
they have
that.
size.
They play really good defense. You know,
I saw Jonathan Isaac out there, and I was like, wait, he's alive. Jonathan. Yeah, I remember at one point he was like that trade piece, like, oh, you 3-and-D or D, defense, rebound. It's like I bet you if Denver got like Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon,
they'll use him crazy.
times
They'll use him
two,
something
like
crazy.
you're gonna have
100%.
two of those things. Like, yeah. So yeah, I think Boston. It's not much to say, but yeah, but like what I do think is the next series in the Eastern Conference that's gonna be very, very interesting is the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. You called that the Indiana Pacers couldn't make it a series. Like,
I said it.
Could be something, and they
and
did
that's only
it.
because Giannis was out. But
Yeah,
dude,
that's the thing.
shout out to the Pacers. Like they took advantage of what they were given. Like essentially, like look, your Dame's gonna play only 2 games, and Giannis is gonna be out the whole series.
Yeah,
there you have it. You gotta win that. You have to win that series. You just gotta go out, and they did it. Yeah. And I was talking to some people the other day, and I was saying it's so nice to see Tyrese Halliburton like kind of forego being. Obviously, he's the leader of the team, but all the shots, all the big shots, he's literally feeding the ball to Pascal. He's saying like, get Pascal the ball. He has the most experience in the playoffs. He knows how to go get a bucket.
Yeah,
go take us home, and then we'll do all the nitty gritty. And I think the unsung hero of this series, and I think it's because Giannis is out, is Miles Turner. He had an insane series, just sensational. That's how good he was.
Especially like shout out to Pascal Siakam, man. He deserves that respect. He's a champion, and like it's funny because people are gonna I feel like people brush that under the rug, but he was the number 2 option in Toronto, and like in Toronto, he did his thing. Like he's certified, and this is what they traded for. And this like to be in those moments, looking at Milwaukee Bucks across the floor and like there's some kind of a rivalry. There's a competitiveness between the two teams, especially this year. And they didn't back down. They didn't just say, "Oh, like Dame's going off. We're inexperienced. We can't do this." No, like and you're right. It is a good mark of leadership by Tyrese to Halliburton to be like, I'm a distributor, you're the scorer, like you go get us a bucket. And it's not like you're right, Giannis isn't there, and like Brook Lopez he's gonna play dropper, he's just not gonna be effective. So let's just get it done. And they did it. They saw the opening and they said, why not? And the shout out to Indiana for doing that. It shows guts, and like good for them. And on the other side is the New York Knicks. Which video is like popping up in my head right now? And they won against Philly.
Oh, the what's it called? The NY Street, whatever.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid.
Feel these nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
it's so funny. Like, didn't you say something about like you kind of want to be alive to see the Knicks win a
I
ring?
want to see. I want to see the. This is. It's like the same thing with the Maple Leafs, but I want to see the Knicks win because I just want to see this that New York just blow up. Every time they win a game, they lose their minds.
Yeah,
If they won a series, they lost it. I want to see them win a ring just to see them,
yeah,
explode. Especially with this team. This team is so much fun.
it's
Like
fun. Yeah,
shout out Jalen Brunson averaged 35, 5 and 9 in that series. He was on 43%, 30% from 3. But these guys, but Jalen Brunson was emptying the clip every time down. He was taking, I think he was averaging 27 plus shots per game. I think that's what the stat was, which is insane. And then, his best friends, Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo, they're making all the all do the nitty gritties, getting the offensive rebounds, getting the steals, diving on balls, doing all the crazy stuff. But I think honestly, the unsung hero of this series was OG. I think all the Toronto Raptor boys who got traded, they're showing that they're crazy. They're crazy pieces. Because OG in those last 3 games of this series, the first couple of games, he's playing good defense. The offense wasn't there, but those last 3 games, he started averaging like 15 a game, getting crazy dunks, like in
banged it on Joel.
Dude,
yeah,
that was nuts.
Woo, that was crazy.
I feel bad for the Sixers though.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that.
Yeah, the Sixers, like on the flip end, like. Dude, that team is so bad. Like we talked about this before. Other than Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, like Kelly Oubre, he's cool. Tobias Harris, we know what he is. What does he do? We don't know what he does. Kyle Lowry can't play basketball anymore. It's
the one Toronto guy that might not have his legs anymore.
And then I'm seeing Cameron Payne play like minutes in playoff basketball in 2024.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield, Mr. What's it called? 2 first-round picks for him. Laker fans wanted to get him so badly for the last 3 years. He was averaging 0.7 points per game in the playoffs before that game 6 that he had, where he had like 17 points.
He brought them back.
He brought them back. He had a good game, but again,
like
none of these pieces are championship pieces. And if Nicholas Batum's your third best player, Kelly Oubre is your third best player, you're not going to win anything. Embiid playing with that face. What it was called? Palsy, something. Palsy, and then his knee's done, his back's done, whatever else is injured. I gotta give him a shout out because he played insane defense. He was still an anchor on defense. Tried his heart out on offense.
Yeah,
was averaging 33 a game still. The only thing I'll say is in the fourth quarter he gassed out. Like he literally gassed out. I think he averaged like 21% from shooting, and he had like 3 points in the last 4 fourth quarters or something. And then Tyrese Maxey, what a coming out party for him. Just 35 and 7 on 40 from 3, 48 from the field. Hit those clutch threes. Went insane. I will say one thing that's good for the Sixers going forward is even Embiid was, when he was talking about it in the post game interview, like the RXC interviews, he didn't look stressed. Like he finally knows that, like, look, I got somebody. Like I got Tyrese, and Tyrese and me like got the next 5 years at least. We can make a bunch of runs. We can try to make a bunch of runs, and I feel like all those runs are still predicated on Embiid's health. But if they're healthy, those two are crazy duo.
So the thing about Joel Embiid, like you're right, to me, Joel Embiid has the talent. And of like he's up there talent wise, scoring wise. We said this. The league missed him this year in terms of he's up there with like the big whatever, like Giannis and Jokic, and like, in terms of impact offensively and defensively, he's not gonna sit out on defense. Like he actually puts in the effort. So he is an all time talent, but his health is like all time like disaster. And it's funny because all the names you named, okay, they're not someone like if I'm gonna want on my favorite team to like put pieces around, but because Joel is that good and Tyrese can ascend even more, it's kind of like, with the whole salary cap stuff and whatnot, it's like you would expect Buddy Hield, like on paper, to be like, he'll hit some threes. Joel pass out at a double when they start doubling you, and Kelly Oubre, like they're not like, and then again, yes, Tobias Harris, like we see what that is, but on paper, it's like it's not terrible. And the thing is, at the end of the day, the Knicks got pushed. I feel like the score differential was like 1 point or something. Remember, it was like
1 point. It was 650 to 649 the entire series.
Total point. That says a lot. with Joel Embiid going cyber psychosis, like like bringing his implants, his machinery is going crazy. Like it's like if you
IQ's
do the
twitching.
edit, it's like it's like oh whoa, screen for frame for frame in the anime. And Maxi, obviously, like again, there's a lot of bailout moments and stuff like that. But I feel like few calls go their way. Somehow they're in a 7-game series, and
Dude.
like for as good as Brunson was, and people are starting to anoint him as the best Knicks ever, all that stuff. I don't know about all that, but yeah, but it's his second run. But like
can't kill Melo's legacy.
But and like all the boys are hooping, but like we'll see what they do in the next stage of the playoffs. And again, yeah. So to finish off Philly's part, there's something there. Like Nick Nurse is a pretty good coach. I think like they can work with something. It just depends on the health of Embiid because he's up there with the talent. He seems to guess out when Jokic gets better in the fourth. Like if I'm gonna compare his contemporaries, and
you want to know an interesting stat?
Yeah.
So it's 650 and 649. That was the total points scored in the series. Embiid's on and off numbers when he's off the court. The Philadelphia 76ers are minus 50 points.
Yeah.
And the score differential is only 1.
That's insane.
That's insane. See, that's what I mean about the others. They suck.
That's true. Because it's kind of like when LeBron goes to the bench. It's like, if somebody could carry the load for like 2 minutes,
keep it tied, or maybe down 5.
Yeah, don't lose the lead. LeBron and Embiid's and your franchise players can come and like should close the game out. Anyways, like that's a whole other story. But like, there's something there. All the numbers point to it's not really a failure. It's just unfortunate. I feel like.
Yeah.
And in terms of the Knicks versus the Pacers, I don't think it's gonna be an easy series. I think it's funny because I feel like the Knicks, like the whole as a franchise, it's very, even though Tom Thibodeau is very like structured and like he's coaching you like standard, the whole franchise is very volatile. And Indiana Pacers plays volatile.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be.
So you think they're gonna like play down to their competition?
Kind of, yeah. Like
yeah,
and like Indiana, like they're just feeling it. So until they runs out, like you're saying for the next series for Cleveland or Orlando, like thanks for coming, right? That's what we're seeing. Boston is gonna. Thanks for participating, right? The same way they said that to Miami. Indiana, I think Tyrese, like he loves to hoop. Like he actually is like. He injured or not, like he's running up and down the court. Like that's he plays very free. And let's look. Okay, look. At the end of the day, the Knicks didn't really stop Maxey. They didn't stop half of Embiid, right? Like there's supposed to be these grinders and like these defensive oriented team. How Tom Thibodeau is. Well, they didn't really do all that, and some calls also went their way. This and that. You can go there too. But like, so I don't think the Pacers are gonna be like scared up front. Now, if the Knicks punch them in the face first 2 games very hard, or first 3 games, then it's like take their heart out. Then it's like, okay, you have to make them think. I don't think the Pacers they're in delusional land, and it's good for them because they just beat, even though Giannis wasn't on the court, they just beat like Dame and Giannis's team.
I think they won the entire season series against them too. So that's why. No. I'm talking about the Pacers and the Bucks.
Yeah, I guess the confidence was there. So hopefully they keep the confidence up. But I think the Knicks still take it in like 6. That's the thing. I don't think the Knicks are this dominant team, but they're like,
no, definitely for sure
they're gonna win. But like,
yeah, if I was to put a prediction on that series, I would say the Knicks take it, but I'm gonna say 6 or 7, just because you might be right where the Knicks they might just like. It might just be a muck kind of series, just like everything's messy.
Maybe
everyone's just playing sporadic.
Yeah,
because the Knicks play like that, and even the obviously the Pacers play like that.
Yeah.
I think the difference will just come down to, honestly, it will be Jalen Brunson. If Jalen Brunson keeps up these stats and there's nobody to match him on the other end, I think it'll be a wash. Like I think either this series is gonna go 5 with Jalen Brunson averaging 35, or Jalen Brunson is gonna have a bad 2 games again, and they might go 6. That's what it's
right. No, that's just, so yeah, it's pretty standard. But it's probably the Knicks go through, but I think the series is gonna be a little messy, like you said, like muddy in that sense. Okay, so moving on to the Western Conference. Yesterday was the last series for the first round for the Western Conference, and that was the Mavs and the Clippers series, and Luka and Kyrie and company got the job done, and they will be facing the Oklahoma City Thunder in the next round. Blockbuster MVP candidate versus MVP candidate, probably for the next like 6-10 years. Gonna be a great matchup. But okay, let's talk about the Clippers series first, I guess. And what did you see for the against the Mavericks? And it ended yesterday, and then we'll go into the other series. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Well, what did I say, man?
Like,
James Harden and Paul George. If you're gonna have those two teams, those two players as your best player on your team going into the playoffs because Kawhi is dead, you're not gonna see much success, honestly. Like we just saw it, Game 6. You know, backs against the wall. You got to go out and show what you got to do. And these are the stats. Let me pull it up for you.
Whew.
So James Harden, 5 for 16, 43 minutes played, 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. Oh, no, yeah. And he had 16 points, -6. Paul George, this is even worse. 42 minutes played, 6 of 18, 2 for 10 from the 3-point line, 18 points, and -19 in that game. Like you're not gonna win anything if they're gonna do that. Like shut out like that Game 6. If we want to talk about the game specifically, Kyrie went crazy in that third quarter to kind of extend that lead. But if your star players are gonna play like that, and this is what they've been known for, so this is not anything new.
Yeah.
Like, and this is what the Clippers have done for the last 4 years. Like, is Kawhi gonna be healthy? If Kawhi's healthy, are we gonna choke? That's all it is.
Yeah,
we're looking at the evidence. I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but like, this is all they've been doing. Kawhi's always hurt at all times, and Paul George and whoever else they have always stinks it up.
Yeah, no, for me, it's I honestly, Dallas played really good. They were home. They got the job done and everything. But to me, it says more about the Clippers than it does the Mavericks because. Okay, so yesterday's game, I think I was tweeting about it or something. Essentially, they just look like they didn't want to be there from jump. Like they were ready for Cancun or wherever they're gonna go for vacation. And it all started with like the rebounding. And we always talk about this with the Lakers. Like as soon as for any game, if you're not getting if you're letting offensive rebounds happen, you're cooked. Like they don't want to play today. And then there's no second chance effort either. It's like if we miss it, it was Zubac on an island, like you know what I mean. And then you have the Gafford and Lively and PJ Washington and all these men, even Josh Green, like they're just attacking.
I think they had 7. I think they had 7 or 8 dunks that game.
Yeah,
and I know Dallas averages the most dunks per game in the playoffs.
That's their game plan.
Like you're just letting these guys throw lobs.
There's no effort. And okay, so people talk on James Harden. Like, okay, I'll just quickly summarize. Whenever it comes to elimination games or like games that matter, he's like probably like the most worst player you can have, just for whatever reason. But it's so weird because the beginning of the games 1 to 3, like no stakes much. He's like the greatest like player of all time. It's just so weird. But to me, I feel like he gets highlighted a lot because he has the ball in his hands. But Paul George, man, what is he doing? Like. He's not even. You forget he's on the court.
He didn't even average 20 this series.
I saw somebody say Paul George is the Tobias Harris with a shoe deal. By the way, I don't even know if the shoe deal is still going because I searched for PG6s and I couldn't find them online. So I don't even know.
This side, get that shit out of here.
I don't even know. But anyway, so like that's the thing. He's Tobias Harris with a shoe deal. Like anytime this happens, he's like he anointed himself playoff P. Like what? Playoff what? Like. Anyway, so like I think
where's Paul though?
No, and he's like the most like the archetype you want. 3-and-D, 6'8", 6 foot whatever, 7.
Smooth player.
The smooth player was Kyrie. He showed what it means to be that. Like I don't want to see no more edits of Paul George. It's all Kyrie's edits, and that's it. Like. Yeah, I don't get it. There's just the effort wasn't there. I don't know what Ty Lue said to the boys. Like, do they know they're all just breaking up or something?
Ty Lue told them that he's going upstairs. He's not living in the basement anymore.
Yeah, and the thing about it also is I thought that they would at least force a game 7 because honestly I thought the teams were evenly pretty matched up. Like Luka's gonna go on fire some games, and then the Clippers are gonna take care of business other games. Even when they lost at Clippers at home. I thought, yeah, okay, this is probably gonna go 7. Like it's one of those like catch fire series. It's an emotional series, and you saw it for Dallas. They showed up emotionally. I feel like we talk about Luka when he gets going, the emotional rage that comes out, and it just makes him like the fire he plays with. It just goes to the rest of the team. They all play for one another, and that's what won out. It's not just, and Kyrie was a magician, obviously.
It's funny because
It takes him
none
far.
of these. It's only Luka that's been here like all the matchups against the Clippers.
Again, yes.
But I feel like the entire team kind of rallied around Luka's like path of vengeance against this team.
Yeah,
like Luka didn't have the greatest series in Game 5. That was his best game. He went off. But even last night's game, he didn't have the best game ever.
He just controlled.
But the rest of the team, it's like, they wanted to step up. They wanted to show,
for their leader or for their
Clippers. I feel like the Clippers is always lacking that. Like these guys are just some big egos where it's like, oh, we don't care what happens. We're just here to hoop. It's not a big deal.
And I think that's what the Clippers was before this new regime. I think even Doc Rivers' Clippers, and I feel like one day we're gonna get a tell-all, but like with the Blake and CP and Matt Barnes. But I know there was some issues going on there too. Like it's just their thing. It's just a bunch of stars, but they don't come to a common goal, and this is their failure.
I don't know where the Clippers go from here. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't think Paul George is going to stay. Paul George might go to like Orlando or something. Dallas,
Philly, I heard. Yeah.
We'll move on to their opponent, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And I think we talked about
series. We already talked about them.
I think we kind of went
there. Swept them, so we talked about them. What a series from the boys.
Yeah, all of them, all around.
This upcoming series, though, this Dallas versus OKC series, this is going to be insane. This is going to be insane because Shea and Luka both had all right first series, but their co-stars and their others, they went off. Jalen Williams, Chad Holmgren, Josh Giddey, Glue Dort, that's the new name.
The Dort.
They won because of them. It's the same thing. The same thing happened in the Dallas series. They didn't win because of Luka's going crazy. Other than that, Game 5, they won. They won because everybody went crazy.
Team effort.
So this is gonna be interesting to see. I'm honestly, it's such a hard pick. Both Shea and Luka are my guys for sure.
Yeah.
But if I was to, what does this series come down to? I think this series comes down to Chet and versus Gafford and Lively. Yeah. I think like who's the better rookie center. Also comes down to how much Lou Dort can bother Luka and how much PJ Washington can bother Shea. Yeah. And then J-Dub and Kyrie, that's the other matchup.
It's a toss-up.
It's
a great matchup.
It's an even matchup, I feel like.
Yeah.
For my I'm gonna go with this is tough. I'm going with OKC. 6 games. Okay. They're gonna win at home. They're gonna win in Dallas against that crazy crowd. Shea not buzzer beater, but Shea like crazy fourth quarter to close out the series and seal the MVP. So we don't acknowledge you, Jokic.
So for me, again, you talked about the matchups. It's gonna be insane, and the rookie center stuff is also interesting, because as I think Chet has great upside and everything like that. But like, as you know, if you go up in like the next round, like Indiana, we're talking about, like they're like delusionally confident, which is really good for them. Like I'm gonna see, like, are these young OKC boys? I think Shea will be fine, and maybe like Dort and stuff. But it's like, are they gonna be in the moment and not let the moment get to them? And my thing is this: Luka and Kyrie, will they hunt? I know Chet's not a defensive disability,
slouch,
deficiency, but slouch. But it's like they're Luka and Kyrie. Like, are they gonna hunt him and play him off the floor? I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
they won't be able to play him off the floor, but I will say they'll try to drag him out. They'll probably try to take him out.
But that's the thing. And then matchups come into play, and then you're like, who's guarding the dunk that's about to go on your head top? And that's gonna be another thing. And to me, so that's the thing. You said it. Luka did not have like an all-time series in the last series, and that was I think emotionally that series meant a lot to him, because the Clippers have always been there in front of him, and based on the Morris twin like beating him up in the bubble or this and that, like it's just he gets up to play them, and he kind of kept himself calm, and I think that helped him, and the rest of the boys like came on the ride, like yeah, we got this for you, don't worry. Now it's kind of like I think he's gonna owe them this series.
Yeah,
I
hundred
think so.
percent.
And again, I'm not trying to say SGA is gonna like quiver and just like shut up and while Luka does this. And I think Kyrie, like there's no stopping Kyrie in a way. Like I think Kyrie's just gonna be in flow state. Like he's just gonna go off. And yeah, it sounds like what I'm saying is Dallas is gonna win, which I think Dallas is gonna win in maybe that's the thing. I don't want to it sounds disrespectful, but I feel like they can kind of do it in 5. As weird as it sounds, 5 or 6, not less than that. But like because I just think Dallas has like it's like Luka's welcome, Shea. Like you know what I mean? And I think this will lay the foundations for the rivalry between these two guys and the other guy that's on the other series. Like those 3 guys, they'll never back down from anyone, and that's so cool. We're gonna have such a great future in the NBA with these guys. But I
I will
think,
say this.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You want to
No,
finish?
I was just gonna say, I just think Dallas might like Luka might lock in and be like, look, you have to take that person matchup personally, right? And Kawhi back in the day, like back in the days, I mean, like the last couple of years, Kawhi saw you like in when you versed the Clippers, right? So now you have to like show him that I've been here, I've been to the conference finals, I saw Steph Curry, and then lost, but like no, but he
Yeah.
battled those guys, like
Well,
he battled Kawhi.
Luka's only played Hall of Famers his whole life,
Like
so
so now, well, like it's no slouch. Now
yeah.
again, that's a very like a subjective thing. Like it's a very emotional thing. Matchup wise, I think they're both teams are matching up really well. It's who folds first, right under
I will
pressure.
say, so you know how you say who folds first? I will say, based on evidence, them Dallas role players can sometimes just shit the bed. Like they can literally just disappear.
Right.
And I feel like the OKC guys, the entire season, they've kind of played where it's like, okay, Shea's our best player, but all of us are still gonna get our numbers.
Right.
Like Shea hits his 31 and then like, okay, I'm out, guys, bye. Like you guys do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's gonna. That first game, whichever one of we watched it in that Clippers series, in that game 1 and that game 3, where these players, these guys, just like they stop learning how to shoot, they stop playing good defense, they stop, they just become all discombobulated. So that's why I'm giving my slight edge to OKC, just because I feel like the OKC role players and the other guys, their third best player is Jalen Williams. So, but
it's a brotherhood.
Both teams, Isaiah Joe,
the
other Jalen Williams, Carson Wallace.
Like
I feel like I'm just gonna give the slight edge to the role players, and I think that's what it's gonna come down to, unless Luka and Kyrie just go nuclear. And I don't know if Jalen Williams, J-Dub, can match
the nuclear
Kyrie's output.
Yeah.
I know Shea can match the output, but I don't know if J-Dub can. I think J-Dub and Chet are the X factors of this series.
Yeah, of course.
Like they have to match that output from Kyrie.
No, you're not wrong. And the thing about it is, okay, do you remember sometimes, obviously, like, you're watching Cleveland back in the days, is like there were series where they all cooked. Like
JR was going 5 threes and
they played like boom, boom, boom. But then there were series where it's LeBron and Kyrie, everybody get out of the way. It's happened, right? Like and we've like it's like they like now it's my turn, your turn. I feel like low-key the finals was like that, like against the Warriors.
Well,
like,
if you want to look at it, like whenever they played the Hawks, it would be like Kyrie and LeBron going crazy.
Yeah.
And then whenever they play the Raptors, it would be who wants to eat? Everybody shoot the ball. We're gonna hit threes. Like
threes, So and I think this series is gonna be like last series because of the emotional drain, I think, or that everyone was feeling in their heads, including the Clippers players, like or that you think they were, and Dallas because of the history. It's like, whew, like it's one of those things. Now it's like Luka and Kyrie. Oh, Kyrie was playing for you. Kyrie was the MVP of that series. 100%. I feel like Luka was no slouch, but Kyrie just showed up, like elevated when in time mattered. And in this one, it's like Luka, you kind of lock back in. Like when Luka used to see thing as a rookie, it's like food. Like he just sees food. Like nobody's in front of him. So again, let's see. Like
I will say last point. Yeah. We keep saying like Luka had a bad series. Luka's bad series was 30 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, half a block. On the efficiencies are down 40 and 23. Yeah. But 30, basically a triple double as a bad series.
That's crazy.
That's
it's just based just quickly on that note. It's because Luka's numbers wise was like obviously him. It's because all the playoff series we've watched, like he's my guy for sure. Like I've been a fan. It's kind of like the impact, the loudness wasn't always there for every 6 games or whatever the case may be. But yeah, and then like the third guy we were talking about of this new trio that's gonna come up, it's the Anthony Edwards show and his Minnesota Timberwolves versus them, the Denver Nuggets. Woo! This
I don't
series,
even.
man. It starts
I don't
tonight,
even
by
want
the
to.
way. So
I
by
don't
the
even
time this
want to talk
comes out,
about it.
something's happening.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
even want to talk about fucking Denver, man.
yeah. Do you
So
want me to start
annoying,
like?
dude.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
you
just start
start.
going with some numbers and stuff? Because so
Yeah.
these two teams faced off last year.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic in the series last year, 26.2 points, 12.4 rebounds, and 9 assists. Okay, classic. Jamal Murray, I think,
Jamal
averaged
Murray's numbers are
27,
crazy.
5 and 6 assists, like 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 31, 5 and 5. Cat was 18 and 10. Okay, like okay, these are numbers I'm throwing out there. Now the thing that comes down to here is, man, Jamal Murray, heartbreaker. Like he's the heartbreak kid, Shawn Michaels,
He's
versus,
nuts.
but can Ant be the heartbreak kid? But the thing is, Jamal has it kind of nice though. Like we saw the last series, bro. Yeah, they killed the Lakers. Okay, at the end of the day, it felt like they killed the Lakers. That's what it feels like. I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
but he did not have a crazy series. MPJ was more consistent, I feel like, and Gordon, and then
100%.
than Jamal Murray. However, he just comes right along and he'll just bang it. And the thing is, he has the capabilities of having an all-time series. By the way, like last year against the Lakers, I think was a crazy show-out.
Well,
Right?
last year
Jordan, Michael
everything was
Jordan, Kobe
crazy. He
Bryant,
was literally the greatest
LeBron James.
shooting guard we've ever
Yeah,
seen in our lives.
yeah. So now Ant has to be a leader
Or point guard.
and that guy. You know what I mean? Like, so can he do that? Can he be? It's a kind of elevation because you're the guy, you're the ace. So that's Jokic, but you're also the closer. And we saw him do it against the Suns. But come on, like the Suns are also this. Like, come on, who played defense there? He banged it on Kevin Durant's head. Why did he even get there at that point? Oh, because Bradley Beal said go by. Like what? So Ant versus Murray is going to be interesting because I think they're going to match up. And Ant loves taking the we have to sit like Lakers had to send Reeves and D'Lo and shit. Ant Man is going to guard Jamal Murray.
Or Jaden McDaniels or or what's the other kid's name?
Alexander Walker.
Alexander, I already said
all those guys. No, sorry.
Hooping.
Another thing, Jokic versus Rudy. Everybody is going to be talking about Rudy's matchup. And to be honest, I still think Anthony Davis guards Jokic the best. That's might not be saying a lot, but I think he guards him one-on-one the best. But Rudy would probably be your next best pick, or at least their next top 2-3 picks. And Jokic averages 21, 10, and 7 versus Rudy in his career. So it's like kind of lower, but obviously that's a box score number. Like it depends on the moments and the impacts. And brother, I have 47, brother, or whatever. Like it was. So, and that's the thing. And last year, just to summarize it, like obviously just going off last year and obviously 2 different teams, especially Minnesota. Cat's healthier, I guess, in a way.
No, but remember, no Jaden McDaniels last year. That's the big thing,
right? And so just based on last year, like for example, Ant is just gonna keep getting better. Like he's gonna be him. I think Jokic is him, but the thing is, last year when Ant would score, like he scored 41 in game 2, but then Jamal scored 40 and Jokic scored 27, 9, and 9. So that's the thing. Is someone gonna come on the ride with him in game 3? Ant scores 36, Cat scores 27. I think that's the game they won last year.
Yeah, that's
so like somebody came on the ride with him and coasted with him. So that's the thing. Is anyone gonna help him? Like literally, like that's I think what it's gonna come down to. Go on, do your take, and then we'll talk about like the outcomes of this series later. But yeah.
So I think people are thinking this series might be closer than it is. This might be a crazy take because I really like the Minnesota Timberwolves. But the Minnesota Timberwolves offense, like I've said all year, is not good. It's not good. It's heavily reliant on Ant being a good jump shooter. And when Ant, we've seen it in the first round already. Ant can have first halves where he goes 0 for 7, 0 for 10, 1 for 7. And I don't think that works against the Nuggets. You have to play a perfect game against the Nuggets. You can't have a bad first series. The only the lane that they have is, since Jaden McDaniels is playing this series, and Nas Reed are there, they have to clamp them. They have to clamp everybody else. You can't let Michael Porter Jr. get free shots. You can't let Aaron Gordon get his free little dunks. You can't let KCP get his pin down screen, flare up the top, open three. You cannot let these things happen.
Even those 15-foot jump shots, 18-foot jump shots.
And I think I'll give enough trust to the Wolves because we saw it in that Phoenix series. I know Phoenix plays a lot of ISO, but every time they'll try to move the ball, the rotations on the Minnesota side are amazing. So I'll give them that much. The defensive end, they could hold up, and especially with Cat on Jokic. But Cat, like Ant said in the last series, stop fouling. You got to stop fouling. But with Rudy as the help side defender,
so funny.
with Rudy as the help side defender, that's gonna be it'll be a deterrence. But like everybody else needs to be on 10 toes because they're gonna have two people on Jokic the entire time, and everybody else is gonna have one man free. You're gonna have some crazy rotations. But this is my main point.
Okay,
the Denver Nuggets, they won't have a tough time playing defense. And that's my thing. They're not going to have a tough time playing defense. You're not going to I don't think they're going to make them work enough on defense unless Ant turns into the most efficient player I've ever seen in my life, And we've seen that what happened. Booker tried it and they still lost that series last year against the Nuggets when he's shooting 80% over the first 4 games of the series. But they're just not going to be tired enough. You're not going to put enough pressure on them because their offense is too
smooth.
It's not good enough. No, the Wolves.
The Wolves. Yes,
it's relying on hitting open jumpers on people who really don't hit open jumpers. Getting to the paint. The pick and roll game is really weak from them. Yeah. Mike Conley. Are we gonna get a crazy series from him, or is he gonna be flying around trying to hit a three?
That's not like a playmaker like that. Like insane playmaker.
Ant's ball handling has gotten so much better. But it's way better.
It's not a natural as Luka or someone like that
I think their offense last series was more predicated on the fact that the Suns suck, and we've said that all year. And if Kevin Durant's your best defender, you're gonna let 150 points go in.
Yeah.
But I think that Nuggets are going to have such an easier time guarding because the Lakers offense, I'm telling you, I know we lost by 5, blah, 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 blah. The Lakers offense is more movement-based, shooting-based, a lot more free-flowing and a lot more efficient
said that.
than the Wolves are.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be the scariest part. If they're efficient, if their offense is efficient, then I'll give them a shot. But if their offense is
4 games to win, right?
If their offense is like what they is, I'm gonna go. I'm siding with the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are gonna win. I'll say 6. I'll say 6. I'll say 6 just to give a little bit of respect. But that was first 2 games. My guess. If Denver steals one on the road, it might get spooky.
Also, Minnesota's coach is
dead.
They killed him. Mike Conley, bro, why'd you do that?
No, but I seen a report said he could be courtside.
Sit there. He's gonna sit there. I remember it happened, and it was a closeout game, and then the assistant coach comes in, and he just yo, what do I do? He probably knew what he was doing, but it just looks so funny because it's so much is happening at the same time. Back to what you said about. That's the thing. As much as the Lakers, the Nuggets are the Lakers' daddy or whatever the hell people say, the Lakers' offense is so much more smoother than the Minnesota thing. And Denver is just so bro. The last how many games of watching them versus the Lakers, they always show they have the guts to close. It's so impressive how composed they always look. It's kind of they're a mix. I was gonna say they're Man City in football soccer because it's just so organized. Boom, 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 MPJ shot, boom, boom. Even when it's a scramble, all of a sudden the ball gets to KCP, whose feet is set, and it's I was supposed to be here, but the ball got knocked out or something, or an inbound steal. But I was supposed to be here and shot, and that's how they do. But they also have the freaking Black Magic Real Madrid gene, where it's yes, you're up 13. Yes, 2 minutes to go. You're up 6. Watch this. And you're just
it's so insane, dude.
So Ant is not gonna get phased. the rest of them also not gonna get phased. And that's the
Also,
thing. Like
like,
they're so
is Cat
perfect,
gonna have
man.
a good series? Like, I don't know what everybody's looking at. Like, I love the Wolves, but I also know who the hell Cat is.
Yeah,
Like, is he
yeah.
if Cat's gonna have a good series? Like,
That's
somebody
different.
tell me.
But we don't know that. Like
Well,
we've
can
never
can
seen it.
Michael Porter Jr. just averaged 22 a game, dude,
Yeah.
on
And
70% shooting.
and I
Is Cat
expect
gonna
him
do that?
to
Can Cat do
do
that? I don't know if he
yeah.
can.
I expect MPJ to do that again more than Cat getting even 19 and 10 consistently. Like who knows?
100%.
So
That series is gonna be interesting.
it's gonna be serious.
That's
Like so
probably that Western Conference is so nuts. That Eastern Conference is buns booty, but that Western Conference is
yeah,
so nuts. Like,
yeah,
I will say this, since we're pretty much done with all of our predictions, that first round of playoffs to me was some mid. Like, there's
yeah.
so much mid going on. That Lakers Nuggets series was fun, but it was depressing.
Yeah. I was
Every other
emotionally
series, that
invested.
Thunder
Yeah.
Pelicans, trash.
Yeah.
Um,
And if Maxi
Wolves
didn't hit
Suns,
those shots, it wouldn't
trash.
be as fun either because
The
Embiid was
Celtics
out of
Heat,
commission.
trash.
Yeah.
Bucks Pacers, trash. Like, no, I'm not even. They're not even close games. They're not even fun games. They're all blowouts and people are injured. Like, they're not fun.
Yeah.
The Sixers and Knicks, it was fun. That was definitely the most fun.
Yeah.
Them
Yeah.
and the Nuggets series and the Lakers series, those are the most fun.
Those are.
But
Yeah.
even then, like, there's so many excuses for the Sixers where it just doesn't seem so fair. I
Yeah.
felt like the Knicks kind of got away with one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way
yeah.
the
That's
series
what we
played out.
talked about essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? Oh, question. Do you have a MVP of the first round?
MVP of the first round?
Yeah. Like, do you? You know,
Woo-wee.
like who was your most outstanding player in
It
the
has.
first round?
It kind of has to be Jamal Murray, right?
I think so too.
I
I was
think it's
gonna. So
Jamal
I was going through
or Ant
my thing repository, and then I
or
was like,
Brunson.
oh no, and I remember 2 shots, and I said, yeah, there's
He
no
had 2
argument.
game winners in a
It's
series. Like,
over.
I don't think there's anybody else who's come closer to that.
Too cold.
2 game winners, buzzer beaters. You know how many
Yeah.
playoff buzzer beaters there are? Like, LeBron got 8 of them. He hit 2 of them in a series. Like,
But
it's nuts.
I feel like the only thing is people will be like, yeah, but you're just going off that buzzer beaters, like numbers wise, efficiency wise, which get it. Maybe then it's
Sure, but that
or
series is
Brunson.
so close. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's the
Like,
thing, and that's what the MVP.
if you want to go like numbers and efficiency, it's if you want to go numbers wise, then it's Brunson. But
Yeah.
Brunson ain't hit 2 game winners, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It matters a lot. And if you really want to go even further, Derek White is.
Derek White.
Can I just say something about the Celtics?
Dominance.
I said this the other day. I said Jason Tatum is trying to get everybody paid. He's a good man. He knows when his playoffs start in the finals. These next
That's
2
true.
series, it don't matter. And none of us judge him like that. You guys can keep saying it's a super team. You guys won't care until he gets to the finals and shows you. So it doesn't matter. You guys don't point in judging him.
It's the finals, or if he versus the Knicks in the conference finals, because anything versus the Knicks is like heightened. Shout out Trae Young, so that's the thing. So, and the funny thing about that is, I think Jaylen Brown's also coasting.
Like, dude, they're all coasting. They're gonna coast the next series too. And Joe Mazzulla, he be telling these guys, because he's a psychopath, he literally be doing random shit on the court in the playoffs. He played like a all white boy lineup at one point. Like, he just does nut shit because he doesn't care. They're all coasting. Honestly, every other series looks like it could go whatever. Every time I see the Celtics, I'm like, I'll see y'all in the finals. Even the Nuggets, I don't see that really, because Nuggets, they could be stopped by the Wolves. They could be stopped by the Mavs or the Thunder. It could happen.
Good, yeah.
But with the Celtics, with the competition they're facing in the East, I'll see y'all in the finals. There's not really much to talk about.
I guess it's more about the competition, not really like a thing on Jokic. It's not.
No. It's the competition. Like, dude, like, essentially, you're just going to be playing MVP candidates the entire Western Conference.
Yeah,
it's just all MVPs.
So if Denver goes on to win back to back, it's a crazy run on paper.
But it honestly, whoever wins, Thunder, Mavs, Nuggets, or Wolves, all of them just whoop the shit out of MVPs.
Yeah,
everybody's just former MVPs, current MVPs, about to be MVPs, superstars, Hall of Famers. The entire Western Conference, other than the Pelicans, is stacked with Hall of Famers.
That's
stacked.
That's insane. So before we end today's show, I was going to talk about the others. The losers, the eulogy segment of the show. So look, the people that got eliminated. What do you like? I was just gonna ask a simple question. do you think their future is pretty good, just run it back, or is it like you guys need to really look hard at yourselves? So like we start with Miami.
So Miami, I don't even know. Like Jimmy Butler stinks. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what their vision is. You know, if the only player they can really go and try to get, maybe if you want to go get Paul George, go see what Braun's saying if Braun wants to leave the Lakers. But honestly, right now, it's looking bleak. They'll be back in the playoffs next year, probably.
Yeah.
But it's just the same circle with them. The next
Jimmy might go to Philly. What about Philly?
Philly, I said it during the Philly series. I think the future is okay. I think they got their two.
Yeah.
Just go get pieces around them. That's all you gotta do. Go get pieces around those two.
Including Jimmy Butler. No, I'm joking. Yeah. Jimmy. And then what about was it a failure of a season? Giannis?
I don't think it was a
no, I think it was just
I think year two loading, you know.
Yeah.
Get healthy and go.
That's it.
I believe dude, Giannis is minimum second best player in the league. Yeah. Minimum.
And it's only who holds the ring at the end, honestly. Because Jokic and Giannis are both like there.
Like whenever you're gonna do a list, Jokic and Giannis are gonna be your top two.
Yeah.
And then let's say Tatum wins the ring this year. Then Tatum's one, and then Luka. I mean, then Jokic and Giannis are two. But they 2 and 3. They cannot go below 3. So get healthy, and I trust in y'all. Like, you know, like Embiid, not as much, but Giannis.
Yeah, that's what takes Embiid away from those two, right?
Yeah.
Like Embiid is, Embiid's the only MVP that's never been to a conference finals.
I just gotta see it, Embiid. And this is supposed to be the year, but you died, and I'm gonna give you a pass because you died. Like you got like some very serious injuries, and you played your heart out. So I'll give you a pass.
Good-ish. So like with the
fourth quarter is a little smelly.
Yeah,
but you know, the Bucks, just get healthy.
Yeah. And then we have the
Pelicans.
Oh right, Magic in Cleveland. Yo, honestly, Magic, keep doing what you're doing.
Magic, just keep doing what you're doing.
Threes.
Cleveland. Is Spider staying?
I don't know. Every year we go again.
Are we keeping Mobley? I don't know. Are we keeping Garland? I don't know. Are we keeping Jordan? I don't know.
Yeah.
Shut up, Max Strus.
Pelicans. Okay, so before you go on the Pelicans, I was just gonna say, like, we see the tweets, like the old and the TikToks, like, the old guard is retiring and the new guys are taking over, and SGA snatched that from CJ McCollum. So and one of the GOATs. So,
worst basketball president ever.
Break it up. Stop. It's over. Zion, and that's it. Trey, come here. Or I don't know, like somebody, man, like Ingram, go be Kevin Durant in Washington. That would actually be
Ingram and Paul George, they're like those players where it's like a perfect piece. Go to Orlando. Go to Cleveland. Funny? Go to Cleveland. Like, just go play over there. You're not the one. You're gonna be a little wing, you're a little.
Yeah.
And those are small markets. No one's gonna pay attention to you. Yeah, and you can stink. You can stink it up if you want, and you can be good if you want. Yeah. Just go over there. Leave. No, I don't want to see you anymore.
No, and so it's like kind of like Ingram. If he goes on a crazy run as a third option or something like that in Orlando, he's gonna become like the Paul George of Tobias Harris, or like the Kawhi Leonard of Tobias Harris.
I can't believe people like. But like Siakam is like way better than Ingram.
That was a convo.
You know what I mean? Like. Ingram used to be in convos with like Luka and him. Bro, Ingram is done, bro.
Put some respect on Spicy.
Keep Zion. Keep Trey Murphy. Keep, what's his name? Herb Jones. I don't like Alvarado. Larry Nance. No. Jonas Valanciunas. No. Just keep those three. And
I'm not gonna lie, JV. Like he needs to be on like either like
JV needs to be on the Lakers. Like he needs to be on the Lakers, backup center, perfect.
Or like Boston backup center. Like that's perfect for him. Like if he wants to,
I think it's at the twilight of his career.
He needs to be on a high of it, like a high team, and just like play his minutes, get his ring or something.
Get those get that DeAndre Jordan ring.
Yeah, literally. And then we have the Clippers. Don't show up next year. Like just
you guys are getting a new stadium next year. Take Kawhi. You're gonna pay him again or whatever. You're not gonna let Kawhi go. So do whatever you want. Kawhi. If Kawhi's healthy, you might make a run. If he's not, then you're not making a run. Have fun. That's it.
That's the thing. I
hate to simplify it like that, but it's like, what else are we supposed to talk about?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's funny because I sometimes think about if are you gonna be. Would you rather be the Clippers or would you rather be the Suns?
Mm.
And the Suns was the next team I was gonna talk about, anyways. And it's just like, yeah, because like you could just trade one of those guys, or two of those guys,
Trade
for a
KD to the
haul,
Lakers.
right? For
Send him
like
to
a
the
haul or
Lakers.
something. But like Clippers, like Paul George free agent, Harden, like another trade. What? And what
I
are you gonna
think
get back? Russ,
it's over.
like you just shoot, like
Russ
spot up shooting might be your new thing, but it
Russ
just
is
makes
my
them
Russ is
poor
my
guy.
Russ is my second favorite player to ever watch. Him and Melo are tied. It's over, man. I called it when Melo was done. I said it's over. Like, stop playing. It's done. Russ, you there's too much psychological shit going on with Russ.
Yeah, he's thinking.
With
Yeah,
him and the fans and him and the media. And
yeah.
him and the thing. It's like,
He's not aging as gracefully, unfortunately.
it's
And
not
when
really about basketball with him
yeah,
sometimes. You know.
yeah, and when he's on the court, exactly. Like I miss watching that Russ, the
Mm-hmm.
athletic. Even if he's not super athletic anymore, but like the fight, the power he dribbles with, and he does a play. Like yesterday, like quickly, I was like, okay, you know what they do? Like Harden on top, and then like he gets past Luka or whoever's guarding him because he can still do that. Then it's like people crash in the paint, like collapse on him. So he kicks it out, and it's Russ shooting the three. Then I'm like, why doesn't Russ be the ball handler and Harden spot up?
He doesn't at all. They don't even give him the ball anymore to handle
they
it.
don't. So like, it's Ty Lue's fault for maybe running that because I trust Harden in the corner shooting that three more than Russ. But then also, is it Russ can't do that anymore? And I find that hard to believe. Like he can't just drive and kick anymore. Like
I feel like teams also like have done this thing where it's like we're literally just gonna let you shoot. Like they literally
no,
just
but
sag
he's
off
the
so
guy
bad.
driving down.
Yeah,
and I know he's missed layups and stuff.
No, but I mean like even at the 3-point line, like you can't even set a screen for him because his defender's not even near him. Like you know, I just feel like it could be over. You know, 16 years, 9 All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 3-time assist leader,
triple doubles,
9-time All NBA, 2-time All-Star MVP, 2016 MVP, top 75. Great career. Second greatest point guard of your generation. My GOAT. You know, great career, man. But it's over.
So and then we have the Suns.
Harden might got one more year off, but yeah.
I think Harden's still useful. It's just
yeah.
But I don't want to guess anymore.
I think the Clippers are just Kawhi and Harden just going around them. Yeah. I don't think PG will be on that team. I don't think
that's interesting. Okay, the Suns.
I think honestly, I think their future might be better than the Clippers. Yeah. Just based off the fact that Kevin Durant is healthier.
Well, they could just, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like honestly, they need to build out a team, bro. You can't have 2K generated players.
The problem is Bradley Beal's getting paid $50 million next year.
You're gonna have to find some really good 2K generated players.
Exactly, dude. It's all like, what are you supposed to do? You can't trade him. That just looks stupid.
Even if they did that, like you guys couldn't even get. It's funny because like Cameron Payne or like some point guard, someone who knows what a point guard is.
Okay, I gotta say this before we end the show. There is a problem with the league and thinking shooting like scoring guards that can dribble and make an outlet pass are point guards. Yeah. Stop this. We need point guards on teams. It's the same. It's like it's an epidemic going on in the league. Brandon Ingram is not a point guard. Yeah. CJ McCollum is not a point guard. Yeah. Devin Booker is not a point guard.
And don't make a point guard. Like remember?
Mike Conley is the freaking point guard of that team.
Keep it that way.
Keep it that way.
Yeah, keep it that way.
You know what I mean? The same thing with the Celtics. Yeah. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are not point guards. Give them the ball and let them do their ISO scoring shit, and they'll make the open pass. But if you want to play the sport with like running plays and don't go to your superstar scoring guard and ask him to be LeBron. LeBron is one of one. James Harden is one of one. Yeah. Prime Russ is one of one. These guys are 1 in a million. Steph Curry has never been a point guard. Steph Curry doesn't play like a point guard.
Yeah,
they don't make him into a point guard.
Hey, but his style.
You know what I mean? Like like a playmaker. Rare. They don't make him into a playmaker. Yeah. They have Draymond there for him. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You keep your main priority playmaker a priority playmaker. These superstars are not this hybrid. Let them be good at what they're good at.
Yeah. And the Lakers.
R.I.P. Darvin Ham.
Yeah, honestly, tough. Yo, forget the joke. Phil Handy, bro.
Dude, the entire staff is gone.
No, Phil.
Look, I will say this. The only thing I'll say about the Lakers is if LeBron stays, which I think he probably will.
Yeah.
Don't hire some. Go get if you're gonna go get Ty Lue, cool. Get Ty Lue.
Mark Jackson.
Other than that, no. Other than that, I think Dave Gettleman is the only other coach that like a young coach that looks like that has can run plays and stuff like that. JJ Redick, like I need the proven guys. JJ Redick, assistant coach would be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool. Get his so he's there, but he's not kind of like how Jason Kidd was for Vogel.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And get rid of Vogel got fired, by the way, so I don't know what the Suns are gonna do about that. But
did he just get fired?
Did he get fired or not yet?
I don't think he got.
Oh, he didn't get fired yet?
He didn't get fired yet.
Okay. I'll check.
I don't think so. I'm like, wait, is it breaking news? Ridgeway exclusive.
I know. No, but I'm calling. He's gonna get fired. Okay. What was I saying? Get rid of D'Lo.
Frank?
Get him. No, I don't want to go back.
I don't think you should go back.
Get rid of D'Lo. Get rid of D'Lo. Get him out of my team. Get him out of my locker room. I don't care. Get him out. I don't want to see his face ever again. It's over. Get him out.
But if LeBron leaves, then
no. Do whatever you want. Then Lakers, I'm out.
Then you're out. No, but no. If LeBron stays or goes, I don't think D'Lo.
I'm a bandwagon.
No, but I don't think D'Lo is gonna be healthy for it's just gonna be mediocrity. Like playing.
It's too toxic.
No, sorry, not playing because we are playing team. But but a team where even if we're healthy, we're not getting above 8 or 9 seed. So. That's the I just want a best for Anthony Davis. He's so good, man. Build around that man right there.
AD, I love what you did in that first round, man. I'm happy for you, man. You didn't fall. You didn't falter. You weren't a mouse. You were a man.
Yep.
Nuggets are just demonic, and they worship Satan. Yeah. They've never prayed a day in their life. They sacrifice. Women and children, they're weirdos. We don't acknowledge them.
Yeah, what do the horses mean, Jokic? What are you doing over there?
What are you doing with the horses?
Serbia.
We know Serbia got witchcraft and black magic, so we know what's going on.
I'd love to visit though. But yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's our second round preview / first round conclusion.
Recap, yeah.
Thanks for joining us today and on the Ridgeway. Episode 4. We made it to 4 episodes. Woohoo! Please hit the subscribe button, hit the follows on Instagram, or we have a Twitter, and also you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if that's your thing. But if you want to see visuals, YouTube is your go-to. Thank you, and see you next time. Yeah, take care.